she's actually a very good performer in like high profile matches. Like if you put her in there with another good worker, it's guaranteed it's not going to. There's like zero chance it's going to be a bad match. Okay. Her problem in AEW is that she's had to wrestle a lot of green girls, and her character is just atrocious. It's very cringe. You know, she's very phony acting. You know.
Well, you know what? Even when she was, I guess what people would say her best, whether that was the latter day NXT or WWE, she was already still known for not being that good on the mic and botching and kind of taking.
Push me up, 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 I'm already close to the edge. Smile in my face with my toes on the ledge. If I don't do what I already said, when I then pull up, I'm already dead till I'm done. Cause I'm still outside, ducking swine. Leave it side to side, my peace of mind. Oh no. Yeah, I'm still outside, spilling, family ties, still in line, it's peace of mind. Oh no. Dirt on my old nights. Yeah, that's a throwback. Now I'm shining like I'm Kubrick. To the movie Go Black. Done with the news, I'm done with the net. Done with the views, I'm done with the press. Recording the tears that I never shed. There's a devil alive from looking in red. I look to the sky and no silver line. The snakes in the grass, they belly the skies.
Well, she's done the
different now.
She's been reckless with other girls. Yeah. I would say that, yeah. Okay. But it doesn't even, she's no different than like 99% of the girls in the business right now. You know, they're kind of reckless when they get ahead of their skis. Yeah, she's been mismanaged. So they mishooked. I mean, like, from the whole presentation, when it's so funny now, okay, because they thought, I guess they're paying her a fortune, okay? And they thought that this was this is their biggest yet. Okay, she's a free agent. Arguably, people are saying she's the best in the world. Like for a shoot, there's contingent of people that are saying that. Hey, I'd say she's very good. I definitely think she's best because she has heard a lot of other girls have been reckless with her offense sometimes, right? But they brought her in and they call her the CEO. And dude, like the expectation of what they thought they were going to get out of her and what they're getting now is pretty funny just based on the ring alone. Because when they put that CEO chant into her song, the premise was that they thought the crowd was all going to be chanting CEO in unison when she was coming out and singing along the song. Now she gets no pop. And like the song, you hear the people in the song going CEO, C, and it sounds terrible. But like you know what I mean? Like Conan, what I'm saying there?
Yep.
Okay, so bro, it's just like I just think that what she's done so far has been symptomatic of what AEW does to performers. Completely, they go there and their value just evaporates over time. You know?
I just think that, like you said at the beginning, she was very reckless,
right?
Of the way she wrestled. And I'm sure it didn't do her any favors with the hardcores or the office. That if you remember, like a year or two before she left, you know, basically her and Bailey were throwing a tantrum because I think the iconic.
That Naomi, I think was.
Yeah, Naomi and Sasha, when the iconic.
Guys, I have their details right now. I haven't watched wrestling actively since 2018, I'd say. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll be 100% honest with you. Back then, I liked her a lot. Her personality, especially, um, her looks. She's hot as fuck on a young teenage boy. I think the badass sort of nature, that's what drew me to her. I don't really care too much about wrestling, like her wrestling ability means nothing to me because I'm not really a huge wrestling fan. So it's funny the fact that she's regarded as this great wrestler. Like that's the reason she's or at least she tries to beat home and her fans try to beat home. The selling point of her as being a great wrestler. Whereas the selling point to get me to come back into wrestling was everything besides her wrestling. So that's it. I just kind of find that funny because there's a narrative out there that's like, oh, she's only good at wrestling or whatever, and it's like that's why her fans are haters and herself at this point in time. And right now, it may as well be he's still a good looking. May as well be right. But back then, it was, I think. If you're to say personality, looks, and wrestling, the selling point of her to a casual fan and to a worldwide audience, I would put wrestling as well third in those categories. So I hate this kind of revisionism where people say, oh, she was never good at this, never good at that. When I started watching, immediately the first thing that appealed to me about her was her mic work. I thought she was very good in the mic. Well, when I say I thought she was very good in the mic, the first promo I ever heard of her was something to do with being Team Bad. That's when I got back into wrestling. And I didn't like her because I thought she was a bitch. And then the next thing I saw of her was some interview with her and Bailey with Triple H about one of their takeover matches. And I was like, oh wait, she's not a bitch, she's just playing a character. So instantly, if it didn't work in anyone else, her promo work worked on me and made me convinced I think she was an actual bitch. Straight away I said in my head, with the mic. That's the first thing that came into my head about. This was kind of like Tom Oates say she's at her peak looks wise, and I hadn't even seen her wrestle. So I didn't know what she was regarded as. All I knew was the next time I turned on WWE TV, I didn't really watch it until that was around the end of 2015. I didn't really watch it again until 2016, summer draft. When I turned on the draft, the prominent person being chanted by the WWE audience was her. She was getting chanted at every single pick. So above everyone else, men, women. I was like, so this girl's fucking popular as fuck. Why is she this popular? And if you think about it logistically in your head, and you can go back and watch that girl. If you think about logistically in your head, wrestling alone is not going to make you more popular than every single talent in the company over a long period of time either. Because you can have kind of hype trains like Rusev Day or something like that, right? But they will fade out eventually. She was obviously this is 10 years later that I'm back and I've checked everything. She was getting those like pops and that reaction for like a year after NXT come. This is a year after she had actually joined the main roster. So a year later, she's still getting so. And everything I'd seen online, you can go and check it. If you look up, calling her the complete package. So everyone was I saw nothing about her being bad in the mic. It was an automatic assumption for me. And if people weren't saying it, which they were, I'd say you're fucking deaf or blind because you go back watch any of her interviews. Now, the key that I disagree with is people who said she wasn't good on the mic after that. I think everything she did up until 2019 she was still very good in terms of character work, mic work, okay? But this certain narrative started being spread about her, about being bad in the mic. Why? Because it was revealed to her on like this appeal. So her fans wasn't true. Wasn't true. There's a reason I think that 1 million promos and never got any. Starts saying all this shit like, I don't want to be Sasha Banks anymore. I want to be Mercedes, and I'm into crystals, and I'm a big spiritual person. She went from being this like tomboy badass that actually like to this troll, and it was really hard to relate to her after that. See, because of the fact that she was getting a lot of hate for different things. But at the same time, it's like she has practically said the last 6 years since that 2019, I don't give a fuck about the character side of me anymore. I'm the greatest in my head, so let me just show you all I care about is great matches. Which I'm sorry, Mercedes, but that's not going to cut it at this level. You unfortunately got booked horrendously in WWE, so you still have to prove at the top level that you can cut great promos, that you likability, and you also need to appeal to new fans. You can't just sit there on your high horse and say to yourself, that's fine to your diehard fans. You still need to prove it to the new fans and the new people that you can do it. And the naysayers who like these fucking retard podcasters like Jim Cornette and all these that come out on a weekly basis and sell false narratives about you. Suits their agendas. You need to go out and prove to you're letting sit down. She chose the route of going smoking, and anyone who smokes a lot, like literally, is not going to be good promo work. Look at Matt Riddle; he's going to be high as a kite. She's essentially admitting, you know what? I don't care about character work, and it's just frustrating, man. Would absolutely kill her for coming out doing a stupid dance. It's so incredibly frustrating as a fan of her to see her doing that stuff, because she can be so much better than that. You know what I mean? And look, I know her fans, they want to defend her. They don't want ever to like set her out. They don't want her to, they want to show her support. But so they won't say these things to her. But it hurts me so much as a fan of her to see her or a former fan. I still like love her, but it's not the same. It was once a huge fan of you, and someone who used to go into like YouTube comment sections every single week to defend you. I do feel let down, and it's a shame because I feel like she kind of brushes off the hate that she gets from, and she kind of just brushes off hate, and she just kind of like as all being irrational hatred from. But then, like the constructive stuff that I'm saying right now, that's included in that. And I kind of wish she'd acknowledge that people are actually trying to remind her of what she can be and what she should be, as opposed to people who are just literally criticizing her because they don't like her. You know what I mean? It's a shame.
So we can go and see the angels after dark.